NBA and insane beefs go hand in hand. Cause without the spice and intensity basketball ain't no fun. Be it Shaq versus Kobe, Jordan versus Isaiah Thomas, or King James versus Joakim Noah. You must have seen it all. But there's one beef that has been criminally underrated. Hell yeah! Steph Curry versus Chris Paul. Oh my God! So, brace yourselves, cause today we've brought you the most underrated rivalry in NBA history. The Genesis. Every great thing has a start. Every bad thing has a start. And every rivalry has a start. So, back in 2008, young Curry was a skinny boy from Davidson. Steph was just another nobody. No one knew him. But Chris was already an established NBA star, with recognition from all over the league. It was at this time Curry had a crossing with Chris at a LeBron James skill camp. Man, this is classic. Steph was looking for some elite training. And guess what? This camp worked wonders. Little did King James and CP3 know that they were training another NBA GOAT, a guy who was going to change the league. So yeah, Stephen Curry and Chris Paul's history runs deeper than you might think. And I'm not just talking about their status as two of the greatest point guards to ever step into the NBA arena. Both the superstars belong to the state of Carolina, and they were not only connected professionally, it was much bigger than this. Damn! Every Warriors fan is well aware of the fact that Curry didn't become a superstar overnight. Part of the preparation for his professional career happened the summer after he got drafted. So yeah, in 2009, for the second time, Chris and Curry had a crossover. This time, the baby-faced assassin was getting ready to step up into the big game. He worked out with Paul. Bro even learned a few moves from the point God. Cause after all, Paul was his mentor. Things were so great that both guys and their families took a tour of Disneyland. That vacation is when Paul gained respect for Curry. Oh God, those were the days, Chris even said. So a lot of people don't know, before Steph's rookie year, he came on a family trip with my whole family. We went to Disneyland, Steph came with us, and we worked out and we trained. I have known Steph forever. Moving on. By the time Curry made his NBA debut, Paul was already an all-star and MVP candidate. Steph wasn't projected to turn into who he would become, so he was no threat to Chris. Haha. The two were pretty close. They had a relationship that extended off the court too, where Steph even attended Paul's wedding. So guys, you might be wondering, if things were so great between the two of these, where did it go off track? How two great friends became subtle rivals? The rivalry. It all began in Steph's debut season, where he was downright sensational. The 6'2" boy seemed like an average prospect, but with every day that passed, he got better and better. God. And by the end of the season, he was dominating the league. Cause for starters, Bro was the runner-up for Rookie of the Year and made it to NBA All-Rookie First Team. Jeez! Well, I am a little shocked, cause my man didn't win Rookie of the Year. But in 2023, 14 years and 3,300 three-pointers later, who cares? In the 2013-14 season, Chef was averaging 24 points per game, and Chris did not let this slide. Cause for him, Curry was competition. So the Curry versus Paul duel did not come until the playoffs. The Warriors were back to face a Los Angeles Clippers team with the league's best defense, a team that was way too good to be beaten. But hats off to Curry and the Warriors, who took the Clippers to 7 games, giving them everything they could handle in that first-round series. The two-star guards dueled it out in the final game, with Paul's 22 points and 14 assists giving LA the edge over Golden State, despite 33 points and 9 assists from Curry. CP3 had won the first playoff matchup, but this fueled a rivalry that wasn't ending anytime soon. The Warriors were knocked out, but the fire that was lit wasn't dead. Curry worked the entire summer cause he wanted vengeance. The next season, Curry came back a different player. He was stronger, sharper, and more mature. He became the immortal sharpshooter we know today. He annihilated the entire league with a formidable average of 23.8 points, 7.7 assists, and 2 steals per game, taking home his first ever MVP award. He must have loved the trophy, right? Nah! It wasn't the MVP that Steph enjoyed the most. It was rather the 2 marquee moments he had against his former mentor, Chris Paul. Jeez, the first one is insane. A double crossover that made CP3 look like a fool. Bro had no idea where the ball was going. Oh man, ruthless. Poor Chris was wiping the floor. That's what happens when you knock out the baby-faced assassin in the playoffs. And this humiliation did not stop here. Cause in the next meetup. Steph took things up a notch, and oh god, he beat Chris as if he were a little child. Damn, bro went full hardcore. Steph was on top of the world as the Warriors lifted their first NBA championship in 40 years. Good lord. Steph 1, Chris 0. And folks, you know who else wants to be on the top of the world? So what are you waiting for? Dunk on that sub button already. Fast forward to 2018. Time passed, but things didn't cool down. Steph had become a force to reckon with. The baby-faced assassin had already won 2 NBA championships and 2 MVP awards, whereas Chris was the underachiever having 0 rings and 0 MVPs in the league. The duo was once again meeting in the Western Conference Finals. This was a duel that was anticipated by every NBA enthusiast. Chris had a chance to redeem himself, beat his old rival, and progress to the NBA Finals. It was an opportunity for him to win his first ring. And man, the Rockets were phenomenal as they took a 3-2 lead over Curry and the Warriors. But for Chris, messing with Curry was more important than winning. I mean, have a look at this 3-pointer. The point guard enjoyed every moment of beating Chef Curry. My man was shimmying this point. Deserved a celebration, didn't it? After all, the old enemies were facing each other once again. Well, guess who had the last laugh? Unlucky for Chris, he picked up a hamstring injury that kept him out of the final 2 games of the series. What a shame! And again, in the 2019 Western Conference Finals, Paul reportedly stopped Curry from practicing in the Rockets arena ahead of Game 6. Well, at the end of the series, it was karma! Curry dropped 33 points on Chris Paul's head, and Houston had to bite the dust. And the funny part is, after the win, Curry was heard shouting to Chris, "Don't kick me off the court again, boy." Nah, my man. Chris isn't messing up with GOAT ever again. The reason is pretty clear. Cause it ain't no 2014. No more. Oh my god, I never knew Chef Curry was a guy who held grudges. I am shocked. It was Warriors versus Suns, Steph versus CP3. And this time, it wasn't about points. It was about honor and victory. Chris tried to guard the NBA's most unguardable player. But boy, oh boy, remember this ain't that Curry from 2014. The transfer. But with all this being said, in a shocking twist of events, Chris Paul got traded to the Warriors. Oh my god! Are you kidding me? This is the multiverse of madness. Chris and Steph on the same team. Jeez, after all they've been through, after all the rivalry and beef, I guess it's time to bury the hatchet. Now that Paul is a Warrior and Curry's newest teammate, he's ready to put everything behind. Curry himself has already talked to Paul, a fellow North Carolina native. It seems like this trade is a full go with the Warriors core. Chris is an all-time great playmaker and almost always makes the right decisions with the ball. While his scoring has continued to dip, he remains one of the best passers in the league. Steph and Draymond are elite passers, 2 of the best in the league, but it's fair to say Paul is the best of the lot. While the 2 veteran point guards have had some intense battles over the years, their relationship off the court has remained strong, which leaves them both excited to be teammates. Curry even said, "So CP has a very defined skill set in what he's done for his whole career, which is why he's one of the greatest point guards to play." Well, this is it for our today's video. Don't forget to dunk on that subscribe button. Until next time, take care.